In this video, I'm gonna give you 15 common mistakes tourists make around Oahu here in Hawaii, next on Jaycation. What's up, Jaycationers? Welcome back to another video here in the Oahu series. And in today's video, I'm gonna give you 15 common tourist mistakes that are made here on the island of Oahu. Tips that can help you prevent it from happening to you on your next visit. The reason why you're clicking on this is probably because you don't wanna make those mistakes. So let's start off with the first common tourist mistake. Common mistake happens when you first arrive to the airport. If you're not renting a car and you're getting rideshare, they pick up on the second floor. There is a bottom floor that runs right below this. You'd think because it's baggage claim that's where your rideshare pickup will be, but it's not. You have to go to the second floor, to that middle island, and make sure you grab your rideshare, the right rideshare. So make sure you know that, just get on the second floor. So don't make that common tourist mistake of grabbing the rideshare downstairs, because they're not gonna grab you there. It may show on the map that it is coming your way, but it's actually above you, and that may cost you to either miss your rideshare or just get delayed to where you're going. So make sure you know that the rideshare is on the second floor, guys. We're in Haleiwa right now. I'm about to drive back to Waikiki. Another common tourist mistake is not being patient on the roads and showing aloha, throwing up the shaka. Honking the horn here on the islands is pretty much like last resort. If you're about to get hit or if it's a really bad situation and you need to honk, then honk, but don't honk just to honk. That is considered disrespect. I would say practice patience on the road, especially in traffic. Regardless, you're gonna run into traffic. It's 3 o'clock right now. I'm headed back to Waikiki. It's gonna take me an hour to get back, but I'll just put on some nice Hawaiian mix music on Spotify and just relax and enjoy the beautiful scenic views through the plantations and through the beautiful island of Oahu. Just be patient. Even in the parking lots, be very patient, because there's people backing into their spots and just taking their time. You don't want to get into an accident. That's the last thing you want. So be patient on the roads and in the parking lots.
You know we're in Hawaii when somebody's sitting in the back of a pickup truck with their dog and gave me the shaka, so I let him in.
Along with being patient on the roads, make sure you allow yourself extra time for traffic. You don't want to be rushing to reservations, rushing to flights, or to other places that you need to be at in a timely manner. Leave early, especially when it's 3 to 6 like it is right now. It's going to be traffic regardless. Another common mistake that tourists make is not packing the essentials that you may need while you're here on the island of Oahu. I've been here for only 3 days, but in the forecast it does look like it's gonna rain Friday and Monday. Today is Thursday. I'll be gone and in Maui, but it still might rain in Maui. So I would pack an umbrella just in case. Just look at the forecast, and also always bring a hoodie. You wanna have a hoodie with you because it does sometimes get cold in air-conditioned areas and on the airplane. So make sure you have a hoodie. If you go do hikes, you get up to the top of these mountains or these volcanoes, and it's a little colder, and then at night it's a little chilly by the ocean, so a hoodie will always come in hand, as well as an umbrella. But there's other things that you might forget, and if you forget it, like I said, hit up places like Don Quixote or Foodland, and if you have to, go to Target.
This common mistake has to do with not listening to ocean safety, lifeguards, firemen, police, even the locals about the weather, a dangerous shore break, the beach, and things that are happening around the island. More times than not, they do heed warnings to you, and a lot of people that do get in trouble don't listen, and they end up having to get rescued or get in trouble. So make sure you're listening to the locals, especially your ocean safety workers. They're just out here to keep you safe.
Just walking around Waikiki, I noticed tourists are from all over the world. Since the Hawaiian Islands are in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, you have tourists coming in from Japan and China and Korea, but also tourists coming from Australia, and then more tourists in the Americas coming from the West Coast, Central Time Zone, and East Coast. You're gonna be dealing with some sort of jet lag when you get here, whether it's being behind or being early. It's gonna hit you. So my recommendation is your first night and your first day here, just take it easy in your hotel. Take a nap when you need to, when you're feeling groggy. Don't go too far on the excursions. Make sure you get that good night's sleep or a couple of nights sleep and just relax. That's what the islands are for. Hit up anything nearby, and then later on go on your excursions. That's what I did. I got in here at 4 o'clock, checked in, and I mainly just stayed at the hotel. Mahina and Sons was a great place to eat. Just hung out up here in my penthouse suite for the night. And then the next day, after my full night's sleep, I got up early. Being in the West Coast, right now, this time of year, Hawaii is only 2 hours behind from my regular time. So I usually wake up at 9, and I was waking up around 6 or 7 on this trip here. So I was forced to become a morning person because my body clock made me a morning person here on the islands because I live in Pacific time. So make sure you just adjust to the jet lag. While we're here in North Shore, let's talk about the next common mistake. That is tourists not supporting the local ma and pa shops. Right now we're eating over at Kaimana Shave Ice. It's fantastic. And I do know there's good shave ice in Waikiki, but those are more of the chain type spots. Not to put them down, but the ma and pa shops are what make this island thrive, and I feel like we should be pumping as much money as possible to support these local businesses, not just here in Oahu, but everywhere else around the Hawaiian Islands, especially in Maui. Supporting local. I know there's no avoiding going to Walmart, no avoiding going to Costco to stock up for your hotel room and stuff like that, but there are times when you're out and about like you are right now where you can go to these local shops and support them and show your mahalos because their stuff is good. So support local. Shoots. Another common mistake that some tourists make, I'm not saying all of them because a lot of us do venture out around the island, but some just stay in Waikiki, believe it or not, and don't venture across the island to places like Kaneohe. There's a Byodo temple right here, the Byodo Inn temple. It's beautiful, so only $7 for adults to get in. If you have a rent-a-car, come over to Kaneohe, to North Shore, and just check out the different parts of the island. Even go to Ko'olina, check out the Aolani. There's so many things to do around the island of Oahu than just hang out around Waikiki Beach. So make sure you guys get out and around the island. I know a lot of you do, but it's a common mistake for a lot of people. They just stay in Waikiki and that's all they do. This mistake is probably made by a few Americans, especially the picky eaters out there. Yeet is not trying new foods around Oahu. There are plenty of local dives, local spots that have very tasty foods, just like a place like KJ's Local Grinds. They have a spaghetti mac salad, and you wouldn't know, it's to die for. The furikake chicken, amazing. A lot of people don't know what certain foods are here in Hawaii, and I just suggest keep an open mind, be explorative. If there's something you're allergic to, obviously don't eat it. Try new foods. That's a common mistake. Don't just go to your normal places, what you know, because when you explore different types of foods, you may never know. You might find a cuisine that you never realized that you liked before. And here in Hawaii, they have tons of that. Eat what you want, but keep an open mind and be a little bit explorative, believe me. You'll find some great local grinds on the island. The next common mistake can be avoided with the planning of your trip, and that is making reservations at not just restaurants, but also parks. Some of the popular restaurants take months in advance. I'm trying to go to this restaurant called Mama's Fish House in Maui, and I can't find even one reservation for one person. I'm going there for the next 6 days, so I should have probably looked into it right when I booked my flights to Maui to get myself a reservation. So make sure you get yourself reservations to restaurants, but also the parks. Ho'omaluia, it's a free park, but it does fill up every now and then, especially on weekends or holiday weekends. So just be aware of that. But there are parks like Diamond Head where you do need reservations and you do need parking permits. So make sure you check out the websites and see which parks need permits or reservations to get into, because there are a few, not all of them, but there are a few around Oahu where you do need that reservation. So do your research and make sure you get those reservations, especially the things you want to end up doing. Not abiding by signs, whether it's road signs, caution signs, signs about sacred land, signs on the beach about the tide, signs about tsunamis, signs about anything. Just don't ignore them. Listen to what that sign says, follow what it says. If it says no smoking in this area prohibited by law, it means no smoking. If it says 15 miles per hour, it means 15 miles per hour. Follow the signs here. You won't get cited and you'll keep this island a better place. So just follow the signs. Don't go in the sacred lands. Don't go near animals that are on the beach, and you should be fine. Smoking prohibited by law. Follow the signs. Just like that sign says, area closed. Do not go beyond this sign. So don't go beyond it. Simple as that. The koi fish in here, they can live for up to hundreds of years. It says do not throw bread, outside fish food, coins, or trash into the pond. There is healthy fish food that you could buy for the koi and wildlife over at the gift shop. Just feed them that. That's all they ask. Respect the signs, respect the wildlife, and the island will respect you back. So make sure you feed them the fish food from the gift shop. Other forms of wildlife you need to respect, especially at the beach, are the sea turtles that go on shore, especially the mothers. Make sure you stay whatever the caution tape allows you to, and don't go near them. If you see them out in the wild and nobody knows about it, make sure you tell a lifeguard, ocean safety officer, or somebody of authority so that they can block it off and let the sea turtles be. And if you see sea lions and other animals in the wild, leave them alone. Don't be taking pictures with them or they will attack you for the most part. The next common mistake has to do with renting your vehicle. Always check for dents and scratches. Film it, show the timestamp, show the date, and make sure you get all the little scratches and stuff recorded so you don't get popped for repairs later on after you return it. I know a lot of people like driving big cars, and especially if you're with a big family. On this trip, they actually gave me this free upgrade to this bigger car. I actually like driving with the economy cars because it's easier, it saves gas, and it's easier to get around the island. And in some places there are tight parking spots. I was able to maneuver my way with this big GMC. I believe it's an Acadia, so all was well. But if you're with a big family, I get it. You have to have an SUV. But if you're by yourself or just with one other person, I do suggest getting a smaller economy vehicle. You'll save money on gas, save money on the rentals, and be able to get into the smaller spaces. Also, when you're in parking garages over at Waikiki, if your car is too high, sometimes it gets a little scary because the ceiling is right above the car, and it freaks me out. I've seen people I actually know with longboards on their rooftops, and they go into these parking garages and they scrape the top of the ceiling. That's another thing to watch out for when your car is too big. But everybody here in Hawaii does drive big trucks, so you still can get around. Another tourist mistake would be the going to too many islands here in Hawaii at once. Especially if it's your first time. You're gonna wanna spend some time in Oahu. You're gonna wanna spend some time in Maui. You're also gonna wanna spend some time in Kauai and Hilo. Those are practically trips on their own. Now, if you have plenty of time, like 3 to 4 weeks, you could probably fit 2 to 3 islands. But if you're here just for a week to 10 days, I would say enjoy one island. Oahu is a great start. It's a great warm up to the rest of the islands. If you want something really chill, go to Kauai. Maui, we'll find out pretty soon here. People do try to go to too many islands. For me, I had 9 days and I've already been to Oahu a handful of times. So I said 3 days in Oahu and that was still short for me. And I have 6 days in Maui, and I guess we'll see how much time I'll need in Maui. So don't go to too many islands at once. That's definitely a common tourist mistake. Another common mistake that tourists make here in Hawaii is you're staying here for a week, maybe even 2 weeks. You need to stock up your hotel room fridge. Make sure you have groceries, things that you need for the week, supplies, and all that. Don Quixote has a lot of great deals. It's a Japanese version of a Target, I would have to say. I would suggest going to Don Quixote, going to Foodland, and stocking up there. I like to support the more local places that you can find here in Hawaii. I know Don Quixote is from Japan, but you can't find this anywhere else in the mainland. Foodland is more local of a grocery store, so I like supporting that. If you have to end up going to Target or Costco or Walmart, so be it. Try to go to Foodland or Don Quixote and do your grocery shopping here, and you can get some great souvenirs as well.
Bonus mistake. I have said this in many tip videos in the past, and that is to never, ever turn your back on the ocean. You don't know if a wave comes in and you're gonna get swept in by the current and swept away into the ocean. A lot of people want to take selfies. I've seen this happen so many times on the TV show Rescue High Surf, and that show actually focuses on real accounts that happen to people, and most of them happen when you have your back turned to the ocean and you're not listening to your lifeguards.
All right, Jaycationers, that will do it for your 15 common mistakes tourists make here on the island of Oahu. This video is always made not to scare anybody whatsoever. It's just meant to make y'all's aware and make y'all's prepared for what's to come or not to come. Sometimes these things don't even happen to you, but at least you're educated on it and you know a little more about maybe things that you should or should not be doing here on the island of Oahu. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I do have a couple of videos on the island about ripoffs, tourist traps, and scams. Make sure you check that out. We talk about similar things, but we always try to mix it up a little bit on each trip, and we'll see you guys in the next one. More Hawaii content to come. Maui, here we come. Till the next video, stay traveling, Oahu. Aloha.